Sports Video Group is in New York City at our annual SVG Sports Graphics Forum. Brandon Costa here with you. Have the distinct pleasure now to be joined by a good friend of ours from across the pond, Paul Jamieson. He's with BT Sport. He's Director of Creative there. Paul, thanks so much for making the journey out here. It's great to see you.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so you gave a presentation here at this show around the work that your company did at the Ashes, which for us Americans who don't know what that is a huge sporting event that takes place over in Europe. Explain how your company kind of innovated that and then how graphics played a key role in how your network told the story of that event.
The Ashes is every 3 years the Ashes takes place between England and Australia. We had the distinct pleasure of hosting that event in Australia. What we do with a lot of our foreign-based sports is we'll take a dirty feed from whoever the host broadcaster is. We do that with the NBA, the MLB. For the Ashes, it was the first time we ever had England cricket team on the channel, so we wanted to make sure that we owned the Ashes. Anyone watching in the UK marketplace knew it was us that was broadcasting that feed and not our partner, obviously, in Australia, Channel 9.
Now, anyone who follows the industry knows that you guys at BT Sport are very innovative when it comes to 4K, HDR, a lot of other areas where you've innovated as well. In what ways do you feel that you have innovated in the world of graphics specifically?
I think for us, it was very much taking a look at what happens in the UK marketplace with some of our competitors, looking further afield at the US market in particular, and see what elements can we take to basically make our graphics as good as possible. I think there's other areas with AR. We're very big with AR, right down some of the visuals that we produce for our Champions League coverage is just incredible. I guess the big challenge for us is we've done that. It's kind of what comes next. So it's making sure that we're always reinventing. But as was said in one of the panels this morning, which is very true, it's not just AR for AR's sake. It's making sure that they actually add something to the program and give something for that viewer that they may not realize that they actually want.
Sure. Now, augmented reality certainly has some exciting use cases, both in the live sporting event environment and also in the studio environment, which you guys have done some great work with that as well. What immediate growth do you see there? Do you see you and other networks in Europe using it more aggressively? It's already pretty permeated, but in what ways can augmented reality continue to grow up over the next 6-12 months?
We, in the UK market, don't use it as much, as you said. We use it in a studio environment, but over here, it's obviously, the Super Bowl is one particular example that we've all watched very, very closely. I guess it's finding those areas that we can innovate. It's using player lineups. It's utilising what obviously happens in this US market and taking the good bits and take it back to the UK with us. Not that we're stealing, obviously, just we're borrowing.
That's the best kind of creativity, is borrowing and making it your own, right? All right, Paul, well, thank you so much for being here. It's great to see you. Thanks for sharing your expertise with us.
My pleasure.
All right, for more coverage of the SVG Sports Graphics Forum, you can visit us online at sportsvideo.org.